music, honey.
That jazz going. Hold up. Yeah. Let me make sure we. Okay, so yeah, check it out. We live. We at the Good News Radio, and it is a nice. What's the night? A Sunday night, and what's today's date? We got. I don't know what the 28th. It's coming. It's fall, y'all, and it's the vibes. And so today we got.
Definitely 29th.
Huh?
It's definitely the 29th.
Oh, it's the 29th? Oh, I'm taking us back. My bad. Hey, well, so anyways, we out here in Los Angeles, California, and yeah, we live right now. We catching each other's vibes, and we got young. Hope everybody's having a blessed weekend. This is a relationship game. We over here with Detroit, and what up, man? Give him a shout out.
Yo, yeah. I am Doncho Detroit. Glad to be back in the building.
So, yeah, we back. I'm feeling a little rusty, but, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to make it work. And, you know, we got some real special guests in the building. We got a cool topic for you guys today. And I hope y'all rocking with us. We're gonna touch on relationship goals. And I know we all got them. Everybody, it's a big hashtag. Everybody talks about relationship goals. But today, you know, we're gonna try to make y'all relationship goals work a little stronger. So we're gonna talk about what's 10 ways to make y'all love stronger with y'all relationship goals. So that's what we're gonna go with. Let's see. Today to my right, we got my brother once again, Detroit, and we're gonna introduce. We're just gonna go from clockwise, counterclockwise, and we're gonna introduce.
You know what? I don't know. You already said that. I don't see your right.
Yeah. Oh, you are.
Unless you had that.
My bad. Come on, man. Make me feel like I'm not just tripping so hard. You gotta help me play it off. So all right. So all right. We're gonna go with Ebony, right? It's a young sister. She's out here making her way in the business in L.A. and she's by way of Atlanta, right? You came
from Virginia, but moved in from Atlanta.
Yeah, moved here from Atlanta. So she works. She does like amazing stuff in acting field. So she sent me this cool bio that I'm gonna break down right quick. So Ebony Mayo, she's an up and coming actress, and she played on various roles and in the Civil War reenactments, TV drama series, and she's coming out here from Virginia, and you work quickly through the film and TV process and industry. And I'm sorry, I'm over here paraphrasing, but you're currently like writing your first book, which is dope, you know, and you have a new film with Warner Brothers in development. That's lit. You know, you living your best life, and you also have a cigar business as well, which is amazing. And you know, it's a blessing that you pulled up on us today, and you say blessings, love, and light, you know, as XOXO, which is super dope to just put out positive energy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so shout out to Mayo. How am I pronouncing this right? Am I saying it? Yeah. So Mayo Cigars, you know what I'm saying? Mayayo.
Mayo's the last name.
Yeah, Mayayo. Yeah, forgive me. So Mayayo Cigars, we just had some today for my brother's 40th. You know, we celebrated in style, so that was a vibe. And with that being said, welcome Ebony Mayayo. Pulled up on us to the Good News Radio. We talking relationship game. Detroit, I'm gonna let you tackle the next one. We got young.
Let's let her speak.
Okay, go say what's up right quick to the people.
Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and thank you Good News Radio for having me here. I'm really excited to be here and to talk about relationships. I studied psychology in college, and so I was a marriage and family counselor for years before I got into entertainment, so this will be fun.
That's amazing.
This will be real fun.
Look, give her another one. Hey, she came with it. She know what's up. All right, so Detroit, man, what's the word?
All right, so in the building, we have the beautiful, young, and vivacious looking Bo Tally Williams in the building. Let's give her a round of applause for that situation.
Turn up.
The gray. So Bo Tally Williams is a mother of 5, grandmother of 1, actress, entrepreneur, event host, fitness motivator, former R&B singer. I want to hear you sing. Humanitarian, philanthropist, and wife of professional basketball coach Fred Williams, which we have in the building. Give him a round of applause. In addition to these many hats, Bo serves as motivation to many people, especially after work. Age-defying photo continues to go viral and make national and international headlines. Utilizing her social media platform, Tally Williams shares tips on health and fitness, plus words of encouragement to empower a nation of verified social media outlets to over 178,000 Instagram followers and over 300,000 Facebook and Twitter followers combined. But these numbers don't define her, as her aspirations for purpose and self-love has reached millions of followers all over the world. A young physique, which I agree. I don't look that good. You know what I'm saying? A young physique with a beautiful gray mane paired with her captivating spirit and heart always draws attention and to inspire. With amazing attitude and strong personality, Bo, Tally Williams, outlook, and on Simplify, defining the living. In 2014, she formed the first all-ever female celebrity charity basketball game in Atlanta, Georgia, Balling for Lupus. Yeah. Her foundation, Balling for Lupus Love Maine's purpose is to help bring more awareness and fun to the chronic illness of lupus. Her celebrity coaches and players consist of current and former WNBA players, actresses, reality TV stars, models, and top community influencers. A few of the celebrity participants: Kalina Harper, Mama D, I love Mama D, Frankie Lowndes, Miss Juicy, Dice Dixon, Tawanda Braxton. Is it Kara Braxton? Kara Braxton, Michelle Snow. Oh, I love Michelle Snow. Chastity Melvin, Erica Dixon. Oh, she's so bad. Mama Cash, Deborah Atney, Planette. Is it Planette
Pearson?
Planette Pearson. Okay, we on the roll. Yeah. Lola Robinson, Tyra B, Neffy.
Yeah. Keisha Cole's sister Neffy.
Young Neffy.
That's kill me. Jonica Blue Booth. Regina Love, Johnny Blaze, comedian Miss Wall, Saint.
You ain't gotta read all that stuff.
It's a gang. So
it's a gang, yeah.
The point is, she's talented. She has an array of things that she can do, that she is, will be, and we want to give Miss Bo Tally the floor. Williams, Miss Bo Tally Williams, the floor, to introduce her lovely self and show you how viral and lovely she is. Miss Bo Tally, here she is.
Thank you. I didn't think you were going to read that entire bio, man.
Yeah,
I thought
you were
about
going to stop
Good
after
job,
a while.
man. You showed me up.
Yeah,
This
it's all
guy's
good. Thank y'all for having me. I'm excited to be here. I know me and Charles have kind of known each other for a while. Seen you on several red carpets. You've taken our pictures several times.
No, it's been amazing. I think the first one I seen you was Kevin Hart's birthday party. So it's just been
in
like
Atlanta, or was it
was out of here.
BET weekend.
Yeah, okay, BET weekend.
Yeah,
that was everybody, BET weekend. You gotta full up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Charles has got to be the most famous dude I know. Everybody has known this dude from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was in Germany, so they know him from somewhere. He lived from Oakland. Like, I've known him since I was a child. I'm like, Jesus. I mean,
be like, it's cool. And shout out to my son Simeon. I didn't get to hang out with him today, because it's my brother. So he's chilling. So I told him, I was like, yo, you gonna get to see your dad do your radio show today. So, because he always wondered where I'll be going, and he don't got school tomorrow. So I was like, look, this is where I'll be doing.
Not just your son then. I was tripping.
Yeah. So, but we over here, young fathers. So always, you guys know their kids always be like, what you doing? Where you going? I want to go. But I'm so grateful that y'all pulled up today, and I just think that it's a good, it's always a good feeling to be on the good news. Shout out the relationship game. And today I was just like, I was like, let's have a good. Obviously, this is good news. So let's have a good conversation. And then we was like, what's a good topic right now? And this relationship goes. And you guys are, this young, handsome couple out here doing y'all thing. And I'm like, shoot, I'm almost in the doghouse today. That's a whole nother story. So I'm like, so I'm like, what's a good way, like how you
definitely in the doghouse.
Look, how do you get out of it? How do you maneuver around? What do you do to doggone You know,
hey, get in it.
You be like, but I'm saying, just because you're in it, you be like, how do you get out of it? I don't know.
Like, so what's the best way? Lots of ways of getting out. So you're willing to get out. You got to do right to get out now.
Yeah. Bro. But I be wanting to get out like right away. I be like, this is like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so let's see. So they got like this top 10, and you know everybody loves to make lists of top 10 different things. So in this list, it's the top 10 relationship goals that would make your love stronger. And so I want to see, you know, where everybody's at, but obviously in the relationship game. But basically, one of the top things that they say is like make sure that you communicate, and basically communicate will make you have a stronger bond. And they recommend that even texting like hi and not even necessarily having like a big conversation is like an important thing to, I guess, to keep an emotional bond with the person in the relationship that you're in. So do you guys notice that like communication is a big key factor in like how the relationship goes?
For me, of course. I don't know about the texting thing. I'm old
really?
school. I hate texting. So I want you to pick up the phone and call me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A text with good morning text? What about that?
That I guess if you just now meeting someone and courting them, then yeah. But when you as long as we've been in, me and my husband, nah.
How long y'all been in?
We
out
12,
of curiosity.
11 years, 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Well, strong, yeah.
What's your secret?
It is communication and definitely understanding each other's lifestyles and supporting each other's lifestyles and not being jealous of each other's lifestyles, because he's a professional basketball coach and I'm in the entertainment industry, so he knows I'm going to be around men. I know he's going to be around women.
Yeah.
So you got to have that whole thing in sync in order for us to even work, understanding each other's professional attributes of life. And then the trust is definitely one thing that has to keep you together. If you don't trust, then get the hell out of it. There's no reason, because you'll keep going back and forth with every little thing, nitpicking all day, every day. And I know because I've been there, done that. You know what I'm saying?
They're not trusting.
Amen.
Yeah, so it screws up everything for you. So communication is definitely understanding. Number one.
Hold that thought, because that's the next segue.
Yeah.
Miss Ebony.
Yeah, I totally agree that communication is totally important. You know, we've heard so many sayings, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right?
Absolutely.
I'm not a texter either. I'm young, but I'm from the country. I'm from the South. So, you know, my views are kind of still a little old school, if you will. And if I'm not a texter and you are a texter, then you have to then become not so much a texter.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not one. So then there's going to be this perception that you're not meeting needs, right? You're not meeting what I need, and you have to have some sort of compromise, and you get that by communicating to figure out what the other person likes and what they do not like, what works for them, what does not work for you. So communication is important. I don't know if the statistic is still true in 2019, but I know back in like 2016 when we were doing a study, it was the number one cause of divorce. So I guess it is important.
I believe that. Wow. I mean, you have to communicate. You need to know. You need to be able to talk and resolve things versus just walking away from it and sweeping it under the rug, because when it doesn't get resolved, it keeps revolving back over and over and over again. The same situation, the same story. Whether you want to read the next chapter or not, you still stuck on that one damn chapter because you haven't moved on from it. You don't understand it to move on from it. So you have to definitely communicate to resolve issues.
Agreed.
In my opinion, same thing. I don't disagree with anything, but this is the way of life. You know, my grandma told me, like, you know, as a baby, she popped in my mouth one time. She was trying to tell me something, and I was trying to talk back, and she said, "Look, boy, when you was a baby, you couldn't say nothing. You learned everything you need to by listening. You know what I'm saying? And not speaking. And to listen and to learn is to communicate, because you have to understand what it is you're trying to communicate back only after understanding and understood what you're hearing."
Absolutely.
Babies react to understand, like, okay, I know this means no, I know this means yes, I know this reaction is bad, this is good. So now I'm predicated upon that. I can let them know how I feel. But communication is a segue to everything that we need done between you and I. Matter of fact, anything that we have promoted, how we got here today, y'all situation at the genesis of it was communication.
Absolutely.
You know, I like you. You understood that.
Absolutely.
You know
That's right.
He likes you. You were like,
Absolutely.
I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I wholeheartedly agree.
I want to go to the next goal, and I think that this is a key one. I had this sign in my bathroom that my grandparents had in their bathroom, and it breaks down 10 rules and of healthy relationships. And this is one key one, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it. It says arguing effectively, and basically it's saying that arguing is a normal part of a relationship, and since that it's an argument is a natural part. Kareem's in the building. That's the homie Kareem, amazing photographer, and so basically arguing is a natural part of a relationship, and so what they're suggesting is that you don't go to bed angry. And I've seen that before stated, like both of you guys can't go to bed angry, and I'm wondering, they're saying sometimes, but they're saying that going to bed sometimes angry is the best thing that you can do to calm a heated argument. So I wonder,
only when you're having sex, go to bed angry. That's it.
Oh man!
Wow.
Yeah.
Out of that now, bro.
Yeah. So you saying you can, or you feel like it's just like, is that if y'all both angry about something, it's okay to just like kind of go with it and just like be like, all right, cool, I'm going to bed, we'll holler at you in the morning.
I don't know for everybody else. I can't speak for anyone else but me and him. Like, I don't like to go to bed angry. I want things resolved. I like to resolve stuff.
Yeah. What if it's like late?
I still want to resolve. Right. We still gonna talk about this thing. I'm a talker. My husband will tell you that. I'm definitely a talker. Yeah. And so I want to get it figured out. I've never liked to go to bed upset, angry, or anything. But when you do, depends on what the conversation was to make us angry. But if it's not too bad, go to sex, have sex, you good, you know.
Yeah. Hey, that's a solution. That is a solution. I'm sure it's
to a lot of problems.
Yeah,
it
helps.
Know.
I mean, I'm sure it can hurt.
Come here, baby. Come here.
I just don't feel like going to bed angry resolves anything. You wake up in the morning like mad as hell at each other, angry even more. Oh yeah. So it's like you
breakfast in the morning.
It don't work. You still mad.
Yeah, I'm cooking.
Yo, yeah, you cooking? Yeah, you girl. Look, he got it. Look, that's how you know it was all good.
I know it's something. Nothing. That pen ain't do nothing to you.
Right.
So, and that's a trip. Well, so tell me this. I didn't get to ask you. How do you feel like seeing how your picture, just one photo, was able to go? How does it feel to have like a viral picture? Like, what is that experience?
What picture
like?
went viral?
I don't know what picture went viral, and I don't know if it's been one picture. I know
really?
It's been multiple pictures.
Okay.
Hundreds and
okay.
So
but a lot of I know it was. I mean, maybe not one particular picture, but I think it was like at one point it was like a meme, and it was like basically kind of showing like, okay, as you were, this is what, I think it was like comparing like, white, women and stuff like that, and how people are aging.
It started off like that. Yeah. When I initially saw it, I was actually in the studio doing photos and stuff like that. I came home one night and I told my husband, something's going on, because everybody was hitting me up. He was knocked out asleep. My phone had just died. It had happened earlier in that day. I didn't know, but when I started doing more research about it, like after the big hype of it, someone said, girl, you've been going viral like this. That picture was out like last year. I was like, what? But for some reason during this particular time, on that day, it just blew up. When I say my phone literally stopped, and I didn't think phones could stop working.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't get any more text messages, any more phone calls, because everybody and their mama who I never heard of, who I knew, who I hadn't talked to in years, my number ain't never changed.
Yeah.
They all were hitting me up like, girl, do you not know what's going on right now? So that night I said to my husband, there's a picture of me in my, what I show of my workout, showing my abs and everything. He was like, is it anything bad? I said, nah. It's just a picture of me, showing my abs in the mirror and this gray sweats with a big hole, no problem. As long as he said it wasn't nothing bad, we ain't tripped no more. But I think what really hit us when we were walking, because we lived in Atlanta too, and so we were downtown Atlantic Station, and people were just stopping me no matter, we couldn't walk. And then some girl all the way from Japan.
For real?
Came all the way from Japan.
Like two or three of them over there.
Yeah, to find me. So it was crazy. So that's when I realized, okay, this is really big. But I can't tell you all what picture, who did it, why they did it. But what I say today is I'm thankful that they did it, because what they did was push my initiative for health and fitness. And that's all it was. And to me and my friends to share each other's photos on, because we're all mothers of like 4 or 5 children. So it was just to encourage each other that through the stretch marks, through the extra skin, through getting older, that we can still be fit, fine, and fabulous at any age, and just be ourselves and love ourselves. So it's just helped that. And I ain't mad at none of it. So I always say, whoever you were or whoever you are, thank you very much. Because you ain't hurt me at all. You helped me really get my message out there even more. So I ain't mad at none of it, but I don't know which damn picture it was. It's a bunch of them. It keep going viral every day.
What's the youngest age you've had assumed to you?
The youngest age I've had assumed 25. My oldest is 30. So
okay. She said, her oldest.
Man,
but that's pretty amazing, and I think that that's a big conversation, because some people, especially after having children, just feel like they can't get back to where they once was. And so I'm sure, that was something that people probably saw and was like, okay, like I can get there. Because even my wife, like, she kind of is adjusting and having to see, like, she's more petite. But then, like, after having a baby, she feels like she's not going to necessarily be that petite frame anymore.
And so, she may or may not.
Yeah.
But she could. But it ain't even really about being that size. It's loving who you are at that moment. And just living your best in that. And that's just what I was putting out there to women via my pictures, and still today. Just being who you are. Just gracefully getting older and being okay with that, And so your wife, you just got to make her feel fine no matter what, because we do go through this whole mental state when we have children. It F's you up. You understand? Like mentally, physically, emotionally, you all screwed up. So at the same time, I'm just here to encourage us, even through all of that, you can still be the baddest bee walking. You understand? You can still be confident and feel beautiful even through them stretch marks, that extra skin, all that baby stuff. You can still be beautiful. It's okay. All of that is okay. That comes with childbirth. A lot of girls who ain't got that, they had it surgically removed. You understand? Exactly. But it doesn't mean because you can't afford it don't mean you can't still feel your best. And so that's all it is. But that's just the only purpose of me being on social media.
I think that's a good message.
Sharing with women, it's okay. It's okay.
Can I ask the husband something, if we may?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying, Sir Fred.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm a very liberal person. You know what I'm saying? But your woman, your wife, your queen is everybody's now. You know what I'm saying? How does that make you feel? How much pleasure and joy does that bring you? Because it would definitely bring me much pleasure. If any, does it bring you any pleasure to know that everybody's looking at your queen as this marquee
my wife
woman?
She said yes with 3 exclamation points in a heart.
Yes.
Yeah, Charles, you got that doghouse, Charles.
Maybe I'm at the doghouse.
We got that doghouse.
I gotta get my round of applause real quick. Hey, I might be out the doghouse.
Get him out.
How do you feel about it? I think I've asked my husband this
Let's
before.
get it in.
How do you feel about it, babe?
Well, I think you go back to the opening question of, what's made it great for us and for me is just the respect without fear. And I carry that within, within sports, but also within relationships and my relationships. I don't fear her going out, on our own and having fun and meeting people, and she don't fear the same from me. So we respect that in our marriage, and and also before we got married in our relationship. So that's what brought us together. As far as
I just did it on its own. I'm serious.
As far as us, she's my queen. I know that each and every day. I respect everything that she stands for and what she's trying to do. I stand behind her. I let everybody know by wearing the hat B on my hat. It stands for both.
Okay.
So, but no, I mean, it's just the love, man. Enjoy just each other. We have our ups and downs. We talk. We have our shouting matches. We have our knockout and drag outs, and but we always bring it together as one, as a team. And I'm in this for a lifetime, man. I mean, that's
so. One more quick question, because I'm a coach.
Yeah, I gotta give him some flowers.
Yeah, I'm a coach. You know what I'm saying? I've been coaching since I was 18. I'm 35 now. And so how much did coaching get easier once they saw your wife?
How much did it get easier?
Like how much respect did you gain? Because as a coach, kids don't realize that you were young someday.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They forget that, you know what I'm saying, that you had game in which way, one or the other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you know how when you're trying to give advice, it's like, oh, coach, you don't know nothing. You too far. And then your girl walks in.
Yeah.
And your girl your girl walking in is probably better than any girl that they never had in their life.
I coach women's basketball, so
well, it still applies.
It still applies.
It
But on both sides. But she has mad respect. It got easy for me. I mean, really. I mean, a lot of respect for what she tries to do, being an ambassador for the WNBA and the teams I've been with in the past. Every team member has respected her because they've seen her as a mother figure.
Correct.
And also a sister. So for me, it was just instant respect because I have players come up and says, I want to be like her someday.
Yeah,
I say, well, you can do that. Just be yourself first, and then you get there.
That's what's up.
That's amazing. Great.
It's always love. It's always.
Yeah, and she always bring me a nice cigar home too. I love cigars, and she always show me the love with cigars.
Do you now?
Look, hey,
do you now?
All right, let's pause for a quick commercial. No, hey, go ahead, take the floor. I'm telling you, she actually got. I had one of her cigars today. It was actually really dope. If you a cigar person,
He is a cigar person.
Yeah, she got her whole cigar brand. She got like a nice box delivery kit kind of thing. I don't know. It was like a whole setup. I was like, that's pretty cool. So
Thank you.
yeah, shout out to just being entrepreneurial in general. I love that.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
You said something in your opening salvo, and going to another question in these top 10 about it's not how you say it. It's not what you say, but how you say it. Right? So, as a psychology major.
On the mic, bro.
I'm about to finish up in my psychology, so it's important to me to see what you have to say. Let's talk about arguing effectively. Mm-hmm. Right? And give me your opinion on it.
Yeah, so, arguing sometimes is considered to be something it always has a negative connotation, right?
Correct.
But we can argue and it be still healthy. I totally believe it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I can say I love you, right? Mm-hmm. And as an actress, there's so many different ways that I can say that, and it's going to have a different meaning, or you're going to perceive it or receive it a different way. I can say I love you, and it could be sinister, right?
Right.
It won't have
I got a different one for you. Tell me how to take out the trash.
Tell you how to take out the trash?
Give me a loving, take out the trash. A sinister, take out the trash.
Okay.
A disrespectful, take out the trash.
Okay.
But use the same words.
Take out the trash. Okay.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Take out the trash.
Oh, I'm on my way. I got you, baby.
Okay, thank you,
we're
baby.
Good.
And take out the trash.
Oh, you got me fucked up. I don't know.
No, I gotta keep telling you this day in and day out. You know what, Bumpy? You ain't getting nothing.
Who
tonight.
is you, Craig? I'll get there.
I mean, but it's so. There's also I like to personally utilize the technique called "when you I feel." Right?
Say that one more
it's
time.
when you I feel. Mm-hmm. So for instance, let's say that I'm married to someone named David, and let's say that
shout out to David.
Shout out to David, wherever you are. I'm ready. Anyways,
Preach.
let's say David, for instance, does not take out the trash. We'll use that, right? Constantly. And as a woman, if I have to keep telling you to take out the trash, women are more so emotional, right? Versus men are physical. So then I'm going to then internalize you not taking out the trash as in you're not respecting me. You don't love me. And it really could just be you are so tired from work that you just don't feel like taking out the trash right now. You're going to take it out in the morning. And although I'm telling you to take it out now at 7 p.m., and it's not done at now it's 11 p.m. I feel like you're not listening to me.
Correct.
Right? I feel like you don't respect me enough, or that you don't love me enough to get up and take out the trash, and I have to keep repeating myself, right?
Right.
So utilizing the technique when I feel you would say, babe, when you don't take out the trash, I feel as though you're not listening. I feel like you're disrespecting me. Right. Like you're not considerate of my request.
Halfway.
Makes sense.
So then that lets you know how that makes me feel without me then pointing fingers and saying, oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. It gives you knowledge as to why it's a problem for me.
And perspective.
And then in return, you say, well, no, that's not the intention. Like, I'm just tired. I'm going to take it out, just not right now. It gives us clarity as to what's going on with the situation.
And a segue in the conversation.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked I love that. Give me applause. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Appreciate that. And I will definitely going forward use that. I don't know what class you're in. Maybe I feel is so important to life because it opens up a door. It opens up a door to communicate.
Turn off your phone.
I will. And this is just me. I don't speak for everybody. I know over time, because I'm one of those people like, I'm in between the flagrant disrespect and the honeydew guy. So whatever that is, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm right there, you know what I'm saying? That's me, you know what I'm saying? So some days I'll jump, you know what I'm saying? Hey, honey, take a trash. Oh, cool. I'm on it right away. And then I'll get to it, you know, when I'm later. But as a thinker, you know, one day I sat down on the couch and I was like, because I can be asked to take out the trash, I can be asked to water the lawn, I can be asked to change the oil, you know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like there's anything that I can ask, and this goes back to arguing effectively, where I get flagrant. Because before that, I'm honeydew. Okay, honeydew, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there. You said, but then when I get to thinking, it was like, you know, when I want to ask you to do something, there's not really there's not too many things that a man can ask women that don't come across as disrespect. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, when you gonna cook? And I can ask you, or baby, are you gonna cook? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I can ask you, how you gonna cook? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you gonna cook, you know what I'm saying? And I have to do that and acquiesce very gently. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't come across disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of things that I may care for, you know what I'm saying? Honey, what we doing tonight? You know what I'm saying? Honey, we gonna fuck? You know what I'm saying? Honey, we going out? You know what I'm saying? Honey, did you wash? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Honey, did you cook?
Why are you asking
honey, did you
so
clean?
many questions, man?
It's not about no. These are not all in one situation. But I know that there's no salary cap to what you're gonna ask me. Like, at any given moment, when a woman feels like I need X, Y, and Z done, she's gonna ask me X, Y, and Z. Now, pending her mood, depends on how X, Y, and Z comes.
Can I get
but there's nothing that is not going to come out of her mouth if she feels something about X, Y, and Z. However, if I feel about something about X, Y, and Z, 9 times out of 10, for peace at home, I'm going to swallow that.
Okay. You might have hit us. Yeah, what they said, hit dog on holler.
And so when it comes to arguing effectively, you're absolutely right. Hey. But some men don't argue effectively, in my opinion, because they never really get to argue, which is where the big blow up comes from. So then it's like, well, where did this come from? Well, I really wanted to say this then, but it wasn't apropos because it never really is apropos. You know what I'm saying? Like, even
let's let her talk and see if she could come up with a synopsis. We get what you're saying though. What is your suggestion for my brother Detroit? He going through. We need some proof.
I'm not going through anything.
You would not pray for him? No, I'm
surely sounded like
it sounded personal. Yeah, got a little, you know.
It sounded a little personal.
It's okay, we family.
I'm not saying it's personal.
Look.
She's a counselor.
It's all good.
I have lived through these things.
Of course. I'm sure several people have. I think it's, once again, this isn't personal, right? But just from an overall
you can
perspective.
apply to me if you want to.
From an overall perspective, it depends on the person, right? So if that woman in this situation is real hostile or very abrasive whenever you have a request, regardless of how you say it, regardless if you come, like physical touch is always something really good, right? Correct. Regardless of how you say it, regardless of how, when or what, then I would then question what's the actual root of it, right? Yeah. Because that means that there's something that's underlying there that she's not really, that you guys haven't communicated about, right? Because if women, well, me per se, we're real simple. Like, it really ain't hard. Like, if you treat us right, respect us, love us, it is really not a lot that we not going to do.
That's true.
You know, it's just not. It's just not. So there's something that's underlying there, you know, that you guys haven't really, like, dealt with. And it could be her internally that she hasn't dealt with. I'm a really big advocate about childhood trauma and understanding your childhood and how that lies the foundation for your adulthood. I have this quote that says, children who experience unresolved childhood trauma grow up to be adults with nightmares.
Correct.
Right?
Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. So it could be something from her childhood. It could be something with her father. It could be something with an ex. It could be anything. But if we don't deal with that internally, then it starts to spew out externally, right? And then we start to displace that emotion onto others. And as a lover, as a person who's a partner, you're the prime target because you're constantly with me.
So isn't that contradictory to if I treat you right? Because I think a lot of times, and this is men and women, especially men, because we don't get to talk. At least y'all, 9 times out of 10, y'all get to take y'all 15 minutes, cry about it, move on, talk about it, and whatever. Even if you never actually resolve it, somebody knows about it. Most of us, hey, you fall off that situation, you know what I'm saying? You break your arm, get beat, don't cry. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Your feelings is hurt, don't cry. You know what I'm saying? Girl breaks your heart, there's never really any resolve there. I can tell you personally, there's a lot of people I know, men with older women that are the women are suffering from something that happened to him when he was 5 that he never got a chance to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a problem.
To your point, so there's no real way how she can treat him because he doesn't trust you because of Jody when she was 5 that he never got to talk about. So if you have an unresolved issue, there's no real correct way because your hostility is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're now set in permanence unless you're willing to talk about it.
Yeah,
there's
always a willingness, right? It's a forever ongoing circle, right?
Correct.
So we can constantly sit here and say, oh, well, because of my childhood, I do this, and because of your childhood, I do this. But at some point, someone has to be responsible and be accountable and say, you know what? Okay, the buck stops here.
True.
And this is what I'm dealing with. What are you dealing with? Like, this is my ugliness, right? This is my flaws. This is what I don't want to show you. What is it that you don't want to show me? And I think that as especially black men within the African American community, you guys have been taught for so long to suppress emotion.
Right.
That
Correct.
Me crying or me being vulnerable is a sign of weakness when it is actually a sign of strength. So
Correct.
I'm from the South, and at the end of the day, as a man, you can put your foot down and you can say, no, baby, you know what? Listen, I didn't hurt you, and we're going to work through this now. And as a woman, we're going to be like, okay, baby, because we actually want someone to do that, right? If I'm having a moment of vulnerableness or a moment of weakness and I have a man, I want him to come in and say, you know what, baby, you don't have to carry this pressure. Let's talk about it.
Right.
Correct.
And create this safe space for that and vice versa. So, yeah, we can sit here all day and say, oh, well, A, B, C, D, but we have to deal with the issue. And whoever starts the conversation, that doesn't really matter as long as the conversation happens.
And we have to know as people what the issue is.
Right. It's just really about understanding.
Yeah.
It's just what it is in a nutshell.
Yeah, Detroit, I think, there's, for me, I'd have some phases that, I should say not phase, but some things that I like, coffee in the morning, my wife makes it, breakfast, sometimes she makes it, I make it. I surprise her with that. Lunch, lots of times we go out and have lunch together or, bring it in home. And, the other is dinner. I like to cook. I'll cook I'll cook a mean Cornish hen. And,
that sounds good.
Yeah, man. Some Cornish hen and I make a nice steak and chicken, whatever. Just try to salad. Love salad every day, and we just kind of stay on that level. For her, with me is, she kind of fills in the blanks, the things that I don't do. You talk about taking out the trash. I look at that thing every time. I got to go home now and take out the trash when I get there. So I make sure the trash is taken out. You don't want the house stinking, because if it stinks, then you're going to have some arguments. And you're going to have some things going on. But I just think it's just a comfort zone. It's a 50-50 world in relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think we kind of was hitting on some other subjects, so I'm going to just go, because we kind of was, touching on some different things as we was talking. But so one thing that I see is kind of, I'm going to combine these two, but it says make your relationship a priority and make time for yourself. So I want to see how you guys, because basically the last couple ones are related to time. So it says make your relationship a priority. Also, important thing is to make time for yourself. But then, in a sense, it's also saying that you got to stay intimate, and you got to also but you also got to find time for fun. So it seems like a time management thing, but it's like a key element. So how do you, keep all these different times that you're trying to balance out? How do you keep everything balanced in a sense? And I could just chime in on it.
Well, for us, I think I just got this question earlier on social media, because I did like an Ask Me thing.
Okay.
And someone actually asked the same question. For me, it is definitely time management, because he's busy, I'm busy. Just having the support of one another and understanding each other's schedule. You have to make that time, and you definitely have to have your own time. It's definitely important. We have date days. We had date morning. We went to the zoo this morning. We had date night
that was
yesterday. So that having that togetherness is definitely important in relationships, and having your own space is even important. There's times where I just have to leave him alone and let him do his own thing. I go in the other room. And right now we're between.
Don't touch me.
Film.
Monday mornings. Sunday night, Monday mornings.
We're in between
as soon as I leave
two
here.
places, so it's like we're in a small space out here in L.A. and a big place in Dallas. So I have to find time to give him that time, because we're around each other 24/7. When he's not on the road, I'm doing my thing. But time management is important in relationships, and keeping it going and vibrant. And date nights and date days and date lunches are very important too, to stay in sync and know what's going on with each other. So you don't be like, well, I didn't know you was doing this. I didn't know. Well, hell, I ain't talked to your ass. You ain't talked to me either. So we ain't spent no time together for you to know what's going on with me. So time management is definitely, and support. You got to have support. You got to have that spousal support, that family support, to be able to do any and everything that you want to do. Because if I didn't have the support of my husband or my children, there's no way I could do this thing. It would be a constant, Mommy, you're not here. And all our children live all over. None of them live in the same place. So because they understand that and they support that, it is okay for us to be who we are, have great family, and have a great marriage.
Ebony.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything she said. Like, she totally hit the nail on the head. I think it's totally something about being intentional. At the end of the day, we make time for whatever we want to make time for. If I'm filming, I'm on set for 15 hours, but I know that I need to hit the gym, that I want to hit the gym. If that means I have to get up at 5 a.m. to hit the gym before I have to be on set at 8, I'm going to do that regardless of how tired I am, because it's something that I want to do, because I'm being intentional about it. Having understanding of each other's schedule is also really important. As Ms. Botali said, it's nothing like having a really busy schedule and then having someone who does not understand that, and then they want you to spend time with them, because then it's the frictions there. It's like, I don't even have the time to spend with you, but I don't even want to make the time to spend with you, because
you don't understand.
It's chaotic.
You don't understand that
I don't want to argue when I come see you. If I've had a long day, like, let's just get together, vibe out, and have a good time. So having someone who understands that, understands your life is important, and just being intentional about it.
And I think the morning times is like my space. You know, I get about a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour window. Catch up on the, what's going to happen during the day and plan out the day. And then, she's pretty much, either getting up or still asleep. And she's, checking out her emails or Twitter or whatever it is on there. But, morning time is keeps you really, I think, at ease. That's my space.
I love giving him his space too, because I be wanting mine. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. And he understands that. He knows. Like,
I like the busy schedule aspects. Like I'm a real liberal. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a big proponent of learning, and for everything that you bring back to me, I learn something different. As do you. You know what I'm saying? 15 hours on set can teach you a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? A long photo shoot can teach you a whole lot. You already know, like the litany of things that come with coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like it comes with a different perspective, and every time you bring that back, one, it's introspective and a look into what you had to deal with that day, and it's a testament to the character of your strength or what you had to go through. Because if you're not an actor, you don't know what it's like to do 15 hours on set. But prior to that, most people have an 8-hour day and don't want to go to the gym, let alone sit around and retake and do some, yada, yada, and then to pose and be a model and have to do this and do that and find a perfect shot. And we don't get paid enough. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To that situation. I'm also, as a liberal, I'm one of the people, and that's really that's what define time for fun. Like, to me, that's my fun. You know what I'm saying? Learning about your day. Because I got me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think, to me, people fall prey to relationships and not having them. Like, the best thing about y'all is it seemed like you got you. Like, if you didn't have her, coaching would make you happy. And if you didn't have you know what I'm saying, being young and fit and driving your motivation would make you happy. Yeah. But as she said, the support from one another, you know what I'm saying, is cool because you don't take away from her and you don't take away from him. And that's great. You know what I'm saying? And as you just said, you don't want nobody taken away from you because you want to act and getting that friction. Well, I'm all about whatever it is you got going on. You got to spend 20 hours, take a flight, whatever you got to do.
Well, that's good because you're understanding of that, but not everyone is.
Yeah, I like that. But
relationships with people who, like she said, you're going back and forth 24/7 because you don't get the world that she's in. And I was in a relationship like that for a long time. He did not get my world. It just did not work out. But that understanding to me is so important in life. And if I say that word a gazillion times while I'm here, it is the key of all things, relationships, friendships, anything. If you are not willing to understand just people in life general, then go on and go somewhere else where you're totally by yourself. You can't live with, Asian people if you don't understand them. And that's where the world is all screwed up. We don't find the time to get to understand other cultures and other people, so then they become weird. They become different, or you're not this and you're not that. Well, hell, you might be weird to them too.
But it's so to your point, I was going to say, all that starts with understanding thyself. Yeah. If you understand where your pitfalls are, your imperfections are, and then what you find in glory, then you can understand, like, well, look, what I like may not be for everybody's cup of tea, so I respect that they like something different that's not me. Or if you know that, look, I'm weird here, I'm deficient there, you have no time to pass judgment on anybody else. Right. And Charles Simmons says all the time, like, just give me your imperfections and we can go from there, because now we can be human because everybody accepts the good. You know what I'm saying? So I like if my girl's out, or, you know what I'm saying, she's got a bunch to say about some guy that liked her, or, she's been in some place that she learned something new, cool, because that's, y'all been together for how long, you know what I'm saying? And so y'all know everything about y'all. I had a psych class one day when from the whole book, the class retaught her the whole book from their perspective. She said, don't you give me nothing back out of this book that I got, that I know. I read this book front to back. I don't need to know that. But from this book, tell me how it's applicable to your life per chapter. Right. And so every day for me is, for anybody that I'm dealing with, is a chapter. You know what I'm saying? Per day, per chapter, per page. That's what you went through. And that provides context and substance for us, because now it's a variety.
Yeah. Troy, over here with the sermon at the end. You got a poem for us or something? Have you have anything prepared?
I didn't write one, but we'll let them speak.
Okay,
we'll go.
Okay. So we gonna he does like a freestyle at the end. And I had a question. I had a question. So I was listening to this podcast. Shout out to the Brilliant Idiots, and they this Charlemagne and
Love
Andrew shows. So they kind of come up with different ideas, and they had a clip from there. It's like a 3-minute clip they pulled. And I before we got out of here, I wanted to see because it was a conversation they had about the WNBA, and they were like, I know it was like a random convo, but they were like, how are we gonna I'm interested in the WNBA because I'll be like wondering like how to just get more notoriety. Something that I thought was cool was 2K added the WNBA players this year to the game. So 2K20, if you play, you can play with the WNBA league. And basically they just like, how do you make it? Like, how do you boost it? That's the clip. That's a clip. We're gonna listen to a portion of it over here. Hold on. Let me turn this one down, and I'm gonna play this clip for y'all real quick before we get out of here. And I want to hear y'all.
It's so stupid. It's positively brilliant.
Michelle owns a fucking WNBA team, bro. Michelle popping.
Charlemagne can hold the whole league.
WNBA popping, man.
But I think the WNBA would be super popping. Listen, hear me out.
Yo,
WNBA would be amazing if they lowered the rim to 9 feet. Lower the rim to 9 feet.
Look, so that's not a good idea, right? So I just wanted to see so they're brilliant. So that's the thing. They try to come with different. So in the clip they're basically debating like what's the best way to make people want to be really like behind the WNBA as far as like the so they're like
I can only imagine.
So they're just like, all right, would it be more exciting if we saw women dunking on a rim or something like that? Would that be the thing? Because basically when I watch women's sports, I'm like I'm into it. And I want to see. Yeah, I want to see. Like I have my homegirl. Like shout out to Monica Wright. You know what I'm saying? Okay. She was.
Monica.
She's a good. Out of Virginia. Salute to her. So,
that's loving basketball too.
Oh yeah, Monica Wright. Exactly. That's how she always. Yeah. So exactly.
I loved you.
So shout out. She's the homie, and she was second overall pick, and I was like heck hype. You know, she was also one of the people we know from Germany. We lived next to each other. I'm an Air Force brat and also a veteran. But essentially, all that to say is when she got on, I was like, wow, this is the most amazing thing because you know so many people that never make it to. They always play professionals, never make it. But then it was like we would go there, and sometimes I just felt like it wasn't getting the notoriety that I felt like it should get. You know, like it was people weren't into it as like, you know. I'm like, why is there a difference? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just wondering, is there a way to make it more as the same play, like kind of exposure as a men as men basketball as males?
Yeah, this it takes a while, for it to happen. I think right now the exposure is really getting bigger each year for women's basketball. I've been in it since 1983. Yeah, and I've seen the growth of. Back in the day with Cynthia Cooper and Cheryl Miller, Lisa Leslie.
Shout out to Lock Eye.
Tina Thompson. I mean, I can go on with a lot of players. All those players are
I went to Lock Eye.
Hall of Fame players. But I think, with women's basketball, they compare it. They want every time people say that, it's pretty much people who haven't been to a game.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
And once you go to a game, they come up, man, I didn't know it was like
yeah,
this.
I get what
they
you're saying.
throwing balls and playing by the rim. And there are women in the game that dunks the basketball. I mean, they do dunk. Yeah. I know Brittany Griner does it consistently there for Phoenix, and we have Gloria Johnson in Dallas that does it. We have a couple on our team. Candace Parker does it. Now and then.
Shout out to Candace. Yeah.
But it's for me as a coach with that question, it just takes time. The NBA took probably about 40 to 50 years, to really kick off, to merge with the what was it called, the ABA with Dr. J and stuff, and have exciting players come in, and so it gets tougher each year, and it gets very competitive right now. Yeah,
and how does it work with being with the year? So us in Europe, like I know in the NBA. Part of their outreach is like overseas, and then I feel like the rest of the world is kind of catching up to where we are with basketball. And so is that something that is a part of that too, as far as like not just in America but like overseas?
Just Europe is really big, for the women. For our after their season with us, they go over it and play for a lot of the club teams, because they're sponsored by a lot of sponsors. I think now it's starting to happen here.
You can see it on their jerseys.
Yeah, I mean, you see it on the jersey sponsorships, and they pay the big millions of dollars to make that happen. Yeah. You hear the names now. You see more commercials now. Yeah. The guys had so much of a big window, a piece of the pie. Yeah. And now it's starting to kind of branch into where the women can get more, 20%, 30%, into that pie, and. I would only say those people who are saying that to go see a game, watch it. If you lower you don't mess with the rim.
Yeah. You don't.
The rim is 10 foot. That's how it is. That's how it was made back in the day. And so that's saying take the guys and make it 11 feet. Now you got
LeBron might be able to do that.
You're right. Yeah, these other guys can. But for me, what's exciting to see is something like a combination pass where I pass to you, where I pass to another person, and somebody may come and scoop it up or lay it up. I mean, that's exciting to me. Back in the day, the Showtime passes with Magic. It wasn't about him dunking. It was about him delivering the basketball into shooters and scores from the outside. Yeah. So, and I think right now the guy at Milwaukee, I think is the Greek Freak. Guy. I mean, he's the dunker now. I like him
because he can't shoot. So it's imperative that he gets to the dunk.
You got to get close.
He got 2 years development though. When he get that jumper and that dunk, look out. I mean, he's amazing.
Coach, let me say something, because last year I'm a football coach. You know what I'm saying? Football through and through. But last year was my first year coaching basketball. I think and we've had girls come out and play football, but it's not the same because I haven't had a girl that's skilled enough. And I have one right now in Pop Warner where she is skilled enough, but the other coaches still disrespect her as a girl, even though she's one of our most talented pass catchers. So they just don't want to risk her. But as a basketball coach, one of the things that I found out was the most exciting, and that I think people think need to see, is the passion and fervor. See, me and you, like, they know men as competition, right? And so we don't see that in ladies. We see it as the competition that we see amongst them is cattiness. You know what I'm saying? That we don't really dwell in. That's we don't associate that. That's whatever, yeah. But then when you see a girl dive for a loose ball, or you see her run into a wall, or you see her cry after a game because she really wanted it, or she's shooting extra shots in the gym, or she makes an all-star move. Like, I fell in love with Sue Bird once. I was a huge Seattle Supersonic fan. Mm-hmm. So anything Seattle, I was going to do it. I fell in love with Sue Bird. You know what I'm saying? And when you see these highlights where it's something so pure, and that's what I like about the WNBA, it's so pure. For the life of me, when I'm 5'9" and some change on a good day, I could dunk a basketball. Mm-hmm. I was great with my left hand, right? Couldn't lay the ball up with nothing with my right hand. Mm-hmm. I'd rather pull up from three, because I was a good shooter, than go to the cup with my right hand. And when I see the skill that some of these ladies have to lay the ball up over these trees in the lane, you couldn't pay me enough to be able to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Me
and
too,
so
and I'm tall.
It's really. I remember one time I talked about the girl I was dating at the time. She was huge into makeup, and to me, she just looked like a clown the way she did it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And she asked me for my opinion. She was like, "Be honest." That was the last time I ever say that. I would ever be honest. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good idea.
And so she was like, "Well, you feel that way, so you do it. All right, come here."
Right.
You can do it.
Correct. After that, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Blessings to you. Yeah. Because you have to go through it.
But most I tell you what, most men and women, but mainly men who played older guys, in the 40s, between the 40s and 60s and stuff like that in age, when they go see a women's game for the first time, they usually come back with a comment to me and says, "Now that's the way the game should be."
That's how it's supposed
you know what? That's why I will
pass
admit
the ball.
Yeah, I admit. Yeah. I mean, the Warriors is a
Louisville.
the Warriors is.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched Louisville play.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I think you touched on the Magic era, and I think that's something too. Is that as far as they have Magic, they have. You do have to have stars. You got to prop people up in a sense, and you got to have these stars, and people follow them because people. I think as leagues develop, then you have like the Magic Bird era in a sense where you kind of can say, this is the blockbuster event that people want to dial into. Because there's times where I see, like even on there was some buzzer beater shot that I recently saw for a WNBA game, and I'm like, sometimes I even get mad. I'm like, dang, I'm really this is a really good last second. It was a steal. I don't know if you said
it was Las Vegas.
Yeah, okay, it was a steal and a last second shot, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that should be on like the Sports Center, right? Like I just seen it on. I seen it online. Yeah. You know, I seen it. I'm like, how do you get a game winning steal 3-pointer shot and it's like on the internet? You know what I'm saying? And not like, and I watch enough Sports Center to see like, okay, this should be on there. And that's that's what I'm saying. I feel like I've been to games. I've seen Candace Parker dislocate her arm and literally just like just walk out like, hey, like not cry or not, you know what I'm saying? She was just like, hey guys, my arms, yeah. I was just like, wow, this is crazy.
But I think it's gonna take the people that we respect to respect it. Right?
Yeah,
because Kobe got daughters and he got a
exactly. I got a daughter
too.
Play. Yeah, and
so when Kobe starts showing up at every game, LeBron starts showing up in every game, and then they start putting in the people that we respect start respecting it. You know what I'm saying? Then on a global situation, they'll respect it.
I do feel like if men help glorify the situation, it could also bring more awareness to the WNBA. Like you're saying with the Kobe's and all of them. I remember that one time when Gilbert Arenas had something to say about the WNBA, which was really disheartening. I chimed on to Shade Room. And we were going back and forth about it because
creeping.
because he just had so much negative things to say about the WNBA. But then I'm thinking, you're a former or whatever you are NBA player. What if your daughter wants to play? Mm-hmm. Are you going to retract those statements about the WNBA, or you're going to push it? And what if someone comes back and say what you said about the WNBA about your daughter for being in it? But I think it takes
his career is indicative.
Yeah, I think it takes
he's kinda
these leaders in the NBA and just men just really coming out and supporting and proving that it is way more than what you think. You know, even if they're not dunking.
Yeah. And it's a league for women. I mean, it's a women's league. You know what I'm saying?
It's a league for everybody.
Well, for everybody, but I'm
so
saying for as the ladies could have to stay here in the States and play overall, to see the college players that have an opportunity to get drafted and to be out there and to play, to be on now the video games and stuff, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's more important than anything, because when I saw it on 2K20, I'm like, well, let me go get this issue, because a lot of time women always ask like, you can remember this stat, you can remember this, like, how can you? Well, if you don't watch ESPN as an elder, well, even as an elder, you probably grew up with those people.
Yeah.
So you know what it is.
Right.
But as a child, when I play video games, they have all those stats recorded. When I go to pick this player, I can pick a player based on what she averaged, whatever. I know the rating. So now, if we playing a WNBA or a girl's playing a WNBA, now she's buying 2K for the WNBA. So now I get to pick you, and I get to pick you. I know where you came from. I got your bio. I know your height.
There you
know what I'm saying? I know your stats.
Oh, I know she can shoot the three, or
so
she can.
So now you my favorite player. Again, LaMelo Ball. Like, I've been watching LaMelo since he came out as Ball brother. You know what I'm saying? Since I found about Alonzo, because as a coach, I'm like, well, why would you take all three players?
Right.
What do they look like? You know what I'm saying? You see LiAngelo, and you're like, Then you find out the 14-year-old playing varsity. Oh, he's actually good. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I can't score 92 points in practice, let alone. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the gym by myself, it's hard to score 92. And you get it in the game. I don't
Detroit, care. We gonna wrap this up because we could go on and on. We appreciate you pulling up, and it was like, honestly, I want to see. I gotta come to a game. So next time you're in LA, me and Detroit, we pulling up.
Yeah.
Just,
you in Dallas?
I'm pulling up too.
Yeah, hey, and we all there.
Y'all
so,
liquor stores closed way too early.
So
I live in Dallas in the off season and in LA during the season.
Dope. We pulling up, man. We gonna buy some popcorn and I don't
know. Man, you got it. I couldn't wait.
All right, and so we gotta get the final words. Where can people find you? You know, just tell them your Twitters, your Instagrams, or what's going on next. You know,
old school, man. I ain't got none of that stuff. I just got rid of the flip phone.
Hey, tell us your MySpace page or something.
He got Black Planet or something.
I ain't got none of that stuff, man.
His social media is my.
You gotta hit him on his hip.
Oh yeah, I know. You gotta hit him on the page.
You need his number.
I went to the zoo to find out where I was.
I mess with you, fool. Boy, you stupid.
All right.
You can find me through my wife. She has all that.
She has everything. Yeah. Any final words from you, Bo? What you got going on?
You know what? I just want everyone to understand that it's okay. Like, to understand other people. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to be different. It's okay to share. It's okay to give back. All this stuff is really okay. It's okay to be smart. It's okay to be beautiful. It's okay to be short. It's okay to be tall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just really want people to be okay with themselves because there's a lot of mental health issues going on nowadays. And I just think it's people not being okay with themselves that's causing people to do all this craziness that's going on in the world. So be okay with yourselves and teach your kids coming up that it's okay to be okay with themselves so we can stop the bullying at the school. Some little kid just died out here from being bullied, and so all that stuff really is important to me because we now have a granddaughter, and so all I'm going to do is teach her that, and so to make sure she's okay and we can break all these generational curses of bullshit. So that's all I really want to encourage people to do. Love yourself, be yourself, take care of yourself, live your best life, however, because life is short as hell. We've all known that. And that's about it. But y'all can find me all over social media. Hell, if I can't find myself, y'all find me. But I am Miss Bo Tally.
Here we go.
There it is.
Roll it in. Go ahead.
My social media is I am Miss Bo Tally. IAMMSBOTALLEY. Yes, Bo Tally Williams. I just finally changed my ID to my married name, y'all.
Give him that credit. Give him that credit.
Twitter, all of that is the same. BoTally.com is my website. Black Pearl Entertainment is my website. Balling for Lupus Loves. Let me give that for sure. BALLINGS. For FOR Lupus LUPUS Loves LUVS.com.
Yeah. Miss Ebony.
Hi guys. My last words would be to write your own story. I had a speech impediment up until the 6th grade where I really couldn't speak English.
Wow,
I struggled with depression as a kid, not knowing what depression was. And I grew up and became a counselor and now an actress, clearly utilizing my speech. So I didn't allow, my circumstances or background or anything to really define who I was going to be. I defined it for myself. And it's the same thing for you, that regardless of your race, your background, your socioeconomic status, the haves and have-nots, you can literally write your own story. Only you and God are in charge of your own story. So be encouraged, love yourself, forgive yourself, love others, and just spread light and love. You can find me everywhere at my name, Ebony N. Mayo. That's IG, Facebook, all of that. I just launched my own cigar line called Mayayo Cigars, and you can find us at Mayayo Cigar, or you can contact me through any one of my pages. And I would love to see you, hug you, give you a cigar, and just have a conversation. God bless you.
Yeah, thanks. Detroit. I'm gonna go in and you got.
I didn't even know I was gonna get a cameo because you know how you do. But okay. Women know basketball all around. That's the WNBA. Whether it's intimacy, communication, either way, it all take you far. At the end of the day, you can take a chill pill with Baby's New Cigars. This has been the relationship game, and we love what you do for us. So thank you. Come back all around. This is for one of us. Charles Handy, give us what you got.
With that, thank you, and come again. Peace.
Yeah.
Good news.